This is Gwenn Standzbig with the Lucha Punk News. I'm here with the badass, Mark Ching of the Animal Hope and Wellness Foundation and the Pestaurant. And Mark, you've been to Asia 9 times this year so far.
Well, since I started, which I started last year in September, so I've been 9 times since then, yes.
And, I want you to tell the people what you do. The people, people need to know what you do. I know it's brutal. I just can't describe it. And I think it would be best coming from you. Everything that you've dedicated to helping animals is just it's just amazing, and we'll talk about the benefit in a minute, but I just want to hand it over to you and just tell the people what you do. They need to know what you do.
Should I have this? Oh, sure, I'll hold it now. Oh, yeah, well, okay. I think what our foundation does is unique, so different from most animal foundations out there. Locally, we center on abuse and cruelty. We're most popular for the dog meat trade. And, in Asia, I've taken 9 trips, so I go undercover to document, the torture. I just got back, so I get all emotional when I talk about it. But I go to document the torture. I document the torture and the practice of this belief where if you abuse a dog first or if you're cruel to them, it makes the meat taste better. So I go undercover into slaughterhouses within these other countries to document what they're doing to try to expose it, to use the documentation to lobby the governments in those countries to pass anti-cruelty laws. Yeah, so sorry. Literally I just got back, and so, man, it's just...
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I realize this is a very emotional thing, and when I think about it, whenever I think about it, I tear up, and sometimes I just can't sleep at night. But in your last experience, can you think of anything that stood out in your mind? Good, it could be good, or anything that you would like to talk about that you could share to bring more awareness to this horrendous practice.
Well, there's no really happy moments in what I do, and so I can't say that there's ever anything good. But I can say this, is that truth is very important. There's this thing that a friend taught me, a concept called bearing witness, where I believe now that you should bear witness to the atrocities that are happening, so you're informed, so you're upset, so you're angry, and so change can happen. And so in a lot of what I do, that's the goal, to show people what's happening and the things that are going on. As a whole, this is probably the most impactful thing that we do. I go undercover to these places and I document them processing these dogs. The typical ways, they'll hang them and they'll beat them, they'll cut their feet off, things like that. In this whole scheme of what they're doing, at the end, there'll be all these dogs laying on the ground, and we'll ask them if we can try the meat. So I'm supposed to be an undercover dog meat buyer. Some places say no, but some places say yes. And so I take these dogs that are pretty much lifeless but still alive, and we take them to hospitals and vets. The transformation and who they become later in life, it's pretty amazing. And so our foundation used to be built into my store, which we just moved like maybe a month ago. And so it's right on this corner here. To see a dog, and you can actually see their neck, all the hair's missing, it's scarred up where they were hung, and to see how these dogs have trusted again, maybe not forgiven, but trusted and moved forward, it's pretty amazing. Sometimes I wish that human beings could be like that, and then the world would be such a nice place. And so,
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, we would like to go over and meet some of those dogs if that's possible, and because they have endured the most horrendous emotional and physical pain imaginable, and so the it is. It really is. We're going to be doing a benefit for Mark and for this foundation at Cafe Nella in Highland Park off of Cypress Street. God, I don't have the address. I'm sorry. It's bad. October 21st, Friday. There'll be bands. There'll be my band, the Bitch Fits, shameless promotion. A Pretty Mess, Spider, Greg Hetson will be DJing, and more bands to be announced. We'll also have an array of vegan food and art. We'll have art displayed outside, and circus freaks, you know, hanging out. And it's also David Joker of Lucha Punk News. It's his birthday as well. So it'll be a benefit, and we'll celebrate his birthday as well. One of the things that I always get when I'm like I was at the Korean festival and getting signatures for the petition to to end the dog meat trade in Korea is they're not vegan, and they don't understand the difference between the cow and the dog. And I know that you're vegan, and but I really believe that this is a matter of humanity and not veganism. But can you touch more on that?
so in our following, or the people that follow our foundation, a large majority, I would assume, are not vegan. I am vegan. I'm vegan because, whether it's a cow or a pig or a dog, it's all life, and they all have children. They all cry, and they all feel pain. In my opinion, a dog is not superior, even though they're companion animals in the United States. We're not in these countries to tell them what to eat. We're here because they're torturing dogs. And so in America, or in whatever country you have, even in Asia, I've witnessed them and documented them kill pigs, cows, stuff like that. Is it torture still? Of course. I assume any killing of an animal is considered some type of torture. In relation to this is where in Asia, for the dogs, they have this belief that if I can torture this animal as much as possible, then it makes the meat better, or it does this and that. And so we're there because this practice is occurring. And so it's not really to us about the eating of a dog. A lot of people that go to those Korean, anti-dog meat things, they're there for dog meat eating. We're not. And it doesn't mean that they shouldn't be there for that, because if that's what touches your heart, you should. You should go and do what you feel is something that you have to do. If they weren't torturing dogs, I probably wouldn't have never gone. Why? Is because we're not perfect here either. To that extent, I'll say this, is that the things they are doing, people have no clue. And so that is what makes it different, And so vegan or not, all of it's wrong. And so whatever they're doing to the dogs is inhumane. And yes, it's a humanity rights issue.
Yeah, I've seen some of those videos that you've posted, and it's something that is intimate and slow and horrifying what they do. It is straight out of Pulp Fiction. So we're going to go over and check out the dogs and the ones that have recovered and are still recovering, but are learning to trust again and love. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could trust again after that. But they're so resilient, and they're so willing to love, and they're so unconditional about things that. So we're going to go over and check out the dogs now, and don't forget there's a benefit for this badass. Mark Ching.
Thanks.
Cafe Nella, October 21st. On a Friday. This is Lucha Punk News, signing off for now. We'll see you in a bit. Shit.
Good.
Okay, so Mark, you're saying that this dog was
The whole mouth was bombed
all
up.
barbed
So you can
wired.
still see the wire marks on the mouth.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And they seem to all get along because I guess
Well, not all of them, some of them. Yeah, so, yeah.
it's
like-
very shy still.
This is a Korean slaughterhouse dog.
Yeah.
This is
He has
a,
injuries like on his body.
yeah, so you can see like underneath. Yeah. Some of these dogs are from a farm and some are from a slaughterhouse. Farm dogs typically are not injured.
I
You
don't know
know,
if you can
where,
see on her nose.
yeah.
Oh yeah. No, honey.
So that's when they tie the wire into their mouth. Yeah.
Sweetheart.
And her palm, do you see her palm on the right?
It's amazing how forgiving they are, you know.
Yeah, it really is. It just absolutely blows me away that they're unconditional
Then
love.
Liberty's at my house, but she has no feet. Yeah, so
She has no feet.
when they cut her feet off. Yeah.
Did you hear that? Liberty is at his house. She has no feet because they cut them off.
On the
Like, oh, this is Luke. Luke! You'll see he's missing a leg, so they cut his leg off. So this dog was hung and they cut his leg off. He won't walk up.
he walks in here, but he won't walk.
No, but he won't stand up now so they can see him.
Usually
Oh, you can go over there and,
Oh
and
yeah,